right, in today's live, we're answering a question that came in from one of my subscribers on YouTube. And here's the question. Hi, PT. How to reduce toe walking in 1-year-old baby? Standing on toes with support, able to walk with support of furniture, but with toe walking, hence not able to walk independently. Could you please create detailed video to help this issue? Thank you so much for the question. First of all, let's start off by talking a little bit about whether or not a certain amount of walking on tippy toe is normal versus whether it's not. So when a baby first starts to play around and experiment with standing and reaching for something, for instance, if I have my phone up here on the couch and I have my phone up against the cushion like this, and baby crawls over to the couch and then comes up and brings her hands up, I would not be surprised if, as baby is trying to reach, I notice her going up on tippy toes as baby is trying to reach for my phone. And so baby winds up going up on her tippy toes like that, where she's stretching for the phone. She's not tall enough. And she goes up on tippy toes. That is perfectly normal. Now, what this parent is describing sounds like it's a little bit different. It sounds like it's a little bit more of what's called a persistent toe walking. Now, right out the gate, if a parent says something like that to me, I have to remind everyone this channel is just for informational purposes only. I've never laid eyes on this baby, and so I wouldn't be able to give you specific details. I would advise you to talk to your baby's pediatrician, get a referral to a pediatric physical therapist who can guide you more specifically regarding your own baby and where your baby is in their journey. Now, having said that, there are a couple of stretches that I want to be able to share with you that you can use in general, that anyone can use who is concerned that their baby is spending a little bit too much time on their tippy toes, and they want to try to be able to correct that. So let me start off by showing you the first stretch that I like to do with a little one to help with any kind of heel cord tightness. Now, if you're unaware, these little muscles in the back of your baby's heels right here are what's called the heel cords. The heel cords run from under your baby's heel and attach to your baby's calf muscle in the back of their legs. Now, the calf muscle itself runs from down, attaches to the Achilles heel, and attaches just above your baby's knee. Why is that important? That's important to know because we're going to tap into that information by helping you to be able to relax your baby's calf muscle so that you can do a stretch of your baby's heel cords without too much fussing or without too much tightness, and do it in a relaxed kind of way so that your baby does not start screaming and crying the moment you touch her. So if you are stretching your baby's right foot, let's say you're stretching your baby's right heel cord, put your baby to sit on your right leg. Make sure baby is comfortable. Have baby lean back. You want to make sure baby is awake and alert. Baby should not be hungry with a poopy diaper or anything like that. Anything that would irritate baby. So you want to make sure baby is happy, comfortable, and well fed. And perhaps right after a baby wakes up from a nap would be a good time to do these stretches. And you sit down with baby, playing with baby, comforting baby, and have baby on your lap facing away from you. What you're going to do is you're going to take your right index finger and put it behind baby's knee and bend baby's knee so that baby's knee, the lower part of baby's leg, should be dangling and easy and flowing freely. Then you're going to take your left hand, take your baby's foot, and bring baby's foot upwards as if you're trying to touch the toes to baby's shin. That is step 2. Step 1, put your index finger behind baby's right knee. Let baby's lower leg relax and dangle, bend baby's knee. And then step 2 is you're going to grasp that baby's right foot with your left hand and bring baby's toes up as if you're trying to touch the toes to baby's shin, where you're bending baby's knee. You're actually ranging baby's ankle. At this age, your baby's 1 year old. Baby should have pretty much a lot of range of motion. That's actually a bit of a red flag if baby does not have a lot of range of motion in their ankles, but we'll get to red flags later. Once you have baby's toes up like this, so where the toes are almost touching baby's shin, you are going to gradually straighten baby's knee while keeping the toes up towards baby's shin. Now, this is actually the part where you're stretching. As you begin to go through this range of motion and you're straightening baby's knee, you may notice baby start to wiggle around. Baby may start to fuss. I like the fact that you have baby up close against your body. You can rock baby side to side. You can start talking to baby. You can sing to baby while trying to maintain this stretch for 30 to 60 seconds. Now, a couple of things that might happen. You might notice baby starts fussing or baby starts to squirm around. If you feel like it's too much for your baby, you can bend the knees a little bit while trying to maintain some amount of stretch. Take a little bit of pressure off of that calf muscle by bending baby's knee a little bit, and give baby a little bit of a break. Once baby calms down, then we can go ahead and straighten that knee again while maintaining this upward bend of baby's foot, where baby's toes are almost touching baby's shin. And now we're stretching again. This is giving baby a good stretch of the calf muscle, which is this muscle on the back of your baby's leg. When you finish stretching one side, if your baby is tiptoeing on both feet or going up in the air where baby's on tippy toes and baby is kind of standing like this where baby's up on but up on tippy toes, bring baby over on your left leg and stretch the left calf muscle in the exact same manner. Start off, take your left hand, put your left index finger directly behind baby's knee. Let the lower part of baby's knee bend and flop down. Bend baby's knee so that the lower part of baby's foot can flop down. Take your right hand, hold baby's left foot. Bring baby's left toes up towards baby's left shin. And as if you're trying to touch baby's toes to the left shin, now you're ranging baby's left ankle. And then gently go ahead and stretch that left calf muscle by straightening the knee. And now you're stretching baby in this manner. Do both sides of the body because we want to make sure the baby is being stretched equally on both sides. So stretch both of baby's heel cords and calf muscles. Also, while you are straightening baby's leg like this, you're also doing a bit of a hamstring stretch. So this is a really great way to stretch all of your baby's muscles on the back of baby's legs, coming from baby's hips down to baby's knee, down to baby's calf and the ankle. Now you're stretching all of those when you do that stretch. That's technique number one. Technique number two is to hold your baby, put baby to stand, and position baby in a way where you're pushing baby back on her heels. You can do this in a couple of different ways. Let me show you the first way that I like to do it. I'm going to come sideways so that you can see. I'm going to try to move my leg out of the way. Now put baby so that baby's knees are bent a little bit and give baby a little bit of downward pressure where you're actually pushing baby down into the ground a little bit. And what you're trying to accomplish is you want to see baby actually be able to straighten her knees and accept some of the weight of her body through her legs. If baby, you can get your baby to go into what's called hyper knee extension, where baby just straightens her knees all the way and now take her body weight. But you want to make sure that those heels are down flat on the ground and baby is actually taking her body weight through her heels. You want those heels to feel the ground. I forgot to mention taking off the socks so the baby's feet can feel the ground, and those little toes can start gripping the ground. Sometimes baby may come up on their tippy toes, and it's not has nothing to do with strength. It's just more of a sensory issue where baby is kind of reacting to the way the ground feels. So this process is something called grounding, where you're putting baby to stand, you're putting your hands on baby's hips, you're giving a little bit of downward pressure into the ground, and you're cueing baby to straighten her knees and bear her weight, accept her weight. This mom said that baby is able to cruise, baby is able to stand with support, but on tippy toes. So I want mom to focus on doing this grounding kind of activity where you put your hands on baby's hips and cue baby by pushing baby down into the ground. Another technique that you can use, technique number 3, would be to take your baby, and if you're doing a lot of activity on a mat like this, take your baby off of that. If you have hardwood floors, put your baby on the hardwood floors. Again, no socks. And just have your baby standing and feeling the ground. Take your baby outside and walk around on grass barefoot. Let baby's feet get messy and dirty and get a little bit of mud in between her toes, and let baby start to feel the ground under her feet and actually be able to accept that and tolerate it. Again, this is taken care of if your baby has a bit of a sensory issue with regard to different types of textures on her feet and cause her to react and come up on her tippy toes. Now you're taking care of that. If you have a little bin that you can put where you have some sand in it or some uncooked rice, and just have baby walk around on it and stand in it, this will help to desensitize the bottom of baby's feet and help your baby to be able to bear her weight down on the ground. If your baby continues to, the toe walking persists, I would recommend, like I said earlier, speaking to your pediatrician, getting a physical therapy referral for an official evaluation where someone can look at your baby specifically and be able to guide you specifically for your little one how to move forward. If you look for shoes that have a firm, stiff bottom, like these are my On Clouds. These are actually pretty stiff. I don't know if they make On Clouds for babies, but look for baby shoes that have a firm bottom that's hard to bend. I've recommended that for a lot of babies, and parents have used them and reported that, okay, baby was able to come down, and when baby is wearing the shoes, baby can actually stay with their heels on the ground. So I typically don't encourage parents to introduce shoes to a little one until baby is actually already walking. But if your baby is cruising and baby's up on tippy toes, if baby, whenever you hold baby's hand and she stands, she's up on tippy toes, you might want to shift that timeline forward and introduce some shoes to baby early as a way of cueing baby to get down on those heels and keep those heels in contact with the ground as baby is standing. So there are a couple of ways, or a couple of, I want to say, red flags that I would say, you know what, this is when to call a PT. This is when to speak to your pediatrician, seek a physical therapy evaluation. So one, if you notice that your baby is up on tippy toes, but baby's heels are never really touching the ground, baby is up like this, and those heels never come down and touch the ground at all, that's a bit of a red flag, and you might want to get a physical therapy evaluation. Another one is if baby is up on tippy toes, but it's only with one foot. So one foot is flat on the ground and one foot is up on tippy toes. One foot, baby is anchored, baby is nice and flat, and the other toe is up on tippy toes. Let me switch those for you. One toe is up and the other heel is down. So one heel is not touching the ground at all, and the other heel is able to touch the ground. It's this lopsided way of moving, way of walking. I've worked with babies who were only toe walking on one side. As a matter of fact, I have a little kiddo on my caseload right now that's only toe walking on one side. Another reason to get a physical therapy referral is if you have any concerns about your baby's overall muscle tone. For instance, if you are feeling baby's calf muscles, baby's thigh muscles, and baby feels stiff, if you're feeling baby's arms and baby feels stiff, baby just has this overall tightness in their entire body, you definitely want to seek a physical therapy evaluation, talk to your pediatrician ASAP, and get a physical therapy evaluation. Have someone look at your baby specifically so that a professional can give you some more detailed and focused guidance for your little one. Okay. So I actually, before I go and before I forget, I created a free downloadable PDF that covers all the motor milestones from 0 to 12 months. I'm going to put the link in the description of this live. Click it, download it to your computer. You can print it out, slap it on your refrigerator, or have it there as a reference for you so you can keep track of where your baby should be and know when to reach out for help. Now, I also created an entire YouTube video about toe walking and how to stretch your baby, do some more detailed activities with your little one. I'm also going to put the link for that in the description of this live. Okay, so I will see you in that video over there, my friends. I will talk to you soon. As always, don't forget to hug your baby. A hug is a silent I love you. Hug your babies.